Crystal Palace was genuinely about to go bust. There was a ridiculous situation where the ground was owned by somebody else and was in liquidation, or administration anyway. The club was owned by Simon Jordan, but he owed a lot of money to people, and that was in administration, and it was a very, very difficult job, which Steve Parish did incredibly well, to unite the ground and the club under the same ownership, to sort out the absolute mess, and basically we did it because there was no other bidder. You know, nobody else was going to do it. We were, I think you can say, reluctant buyers, because the four of us are just ardent fans of the club. We didn't really want to be football club owners. I personally like to just go back to being a football fan, but we didn't have any choice, because it's the football club we love. We've all been going since we were little kids. I mean, my first match was in 1969. Martin's was in 1959, I think. We've all, since we were 8, 9, 10 years old, been fans of the club, and we had to do it. We had to save the club because nobody else would. It's a crazy business. It's not a business. It doesn't make sense, and people do chase the dream, and unfortunately, it's very much a world of haves and have-nots. And if you're in the Premier League, or if you've been in the Premier League and been relegated, you've got money, and if you haven't, it's virtually impossible in the Championship to run a club on a break-even basis. And to challenge for the Premier League, you almost have to, you have to make a loss. You know, the money side just doesn't add up, and most clubs in the Championship lose money. But the prize is so great that they're prepared to lose money, because if they make it to the Premier League, then it's, you know, it's really jackpot time. Well, I think the financial fair play will help enormously. I think it will stop people making enormous losses. But you know, there is always a risk when the prize is so great that people will do anything to get there, and perhaps lose any sense of financial control in their desperate efforts to get there. But unfortunately, I don't think the situation will change in terms of the rich clubs are going to get richer, and the poorer clubs are going to get poorer. So the desire to be with the big boys can only increase. We worked out that our income as a Championship club was about 13 million a year, and our income as a Premier League club will be about 83 million a year. And that's a fairly conservative estimate. So it does change things. It means that we've got money to spend on the infrastructure of the club, particularly on the stadium, which is desperately in need of modernising. I mean, we've got one of the oldest stands in football. Our main stand was built in 1924, and I think its days are numbered. But the Premiership money, perhaps, you know, the most important thing about the Premiership money is we can give Crystal Palace a legacy that will continue for a long time by improving our stadium.